It used to be that at weddings, the song "Because" was sung. So here we go. It was sung at our wedding. So in January of 1950, I asked you to be my escort for a sorority Valentine dance. The Sunday before the dance, I overheard other girls in the youth group saying you were broke because your girlfriend had you take her to a nightclub. But you did bring me flowers, not the ones I requested, but a more expensive orchid. As the evening went on, I forgave you and was really enjoying myself until almost midnight, when you said the next day was your birthday. I was 16 at the time. You said you would be 20. Oh my, what will Mom and Dad say to this? And all because you danced with me. No worry, because you didn't talk to me or ask me out until about 3 weeks later, when the youth went bowling. You claimed you arranged to bowl in the same lane with me. Because we got along well that night, and then started dating about once a week, things were okay, until the West Pointer came to town, and I couldn't see you. Then I left for the seashore, and you came to see me until the West Pointer returned. That was almost the end. You had written me a letter. I found it in your wallet and read it, but you tore it up. And I put it back together and still have it. I followed you to Penn State after the second Army-Navy game with the West Pointer. Because you made your fraternity brothers lose their bets that you would be the first pledge to get pinned, you finally gave me your fraternity pin at the least expected time. There were some ups and downs because of my youth and wondering if I should commit so soon, like when the student teachers went to Washington to visit the Capitol scenes and we all had blind dates. But young as I was, I decided you were the right one. You graduated, and on the day after we were supposed to be engaged, because of a late driver who took too long to get me back to Philadelphia, we finally were engaged, and then you were drafted, and after a few months were sent to Arkansas by mistake, and finally to Texas to learn about missiles. But that was not the worst thing. I graduated, and we were to be married when you got leave from Texas. You called. You said you'd be home before August 7th. So we mailed the invitations for that date before the 6 o'clock mail deadline. And at 7:30, you called and said you could not be home then. Your sergeant said fly home and fly back after the wedding. But the airlines went on strike. my wedding dress was made from organdy. Back in those days, you had to follow the fashion rules. And we lived in the East, where fall meant fall colors. But we made it on August 28th, on a Saturday, and before Labor Day. Now, after 60 years,